Good afternoon. It's Thursday, December 29th, 2022. Here is a toy box that the grandkids were playing with that is actually from when my kids were little. And here is what the issue is. The handle is broken. Here's the other little piece that goes with it. Let's see if we can see. So that's supposed to go in there. I've tried a little bit of super glue. I tried a little bit of two-part epoxy, but it's not holding. So we have to come up with something a little bit more structurally secure to repair this. Here's my first thought. We're going to take a piece of aluminum square tubing. We're going to put it like this. I have to let this down here, it's not going to stay, I guess. We're going to put a screw through here to secure it to the handle. Then over here we're going to drill a hole this way and put a bolt all the way through with perhaps a metal sleeve to hold it in place. So that's the plan. I think we're going to get started and see what thought processes didn't work good here. Okay, so I used a file and I cleaned out some of the broken stuff in here, and the plan is going to be to put this tube right in there, and then we're going to mark a couple of spots for holes to go through to attach the aluminum square tube to the plastic handle. Alright, nothing particular here, but we're going to say that we should probably put a hole there, and probably should put a hole there, and then we'll measure that and drill through the aluminum first so we're not gnawing away at the plastic as we get into the aluminum. So what I have is 632 by 1, 632 by 1 1/4, 632 by 1 1/2, and this is 1 1/4. So it looks like plenty. I can always trim it. I think the inch, by the time I put a washer and go through the other material, is going to be too short. So let's try. I'll drill a couple holes here for 6. All right, got them drilled, and now we're going to use a countersink just to clean up the holes so they're not chewing up little kids' fingers. And what we're going to do now is just match drill right through the aluminum tube and the plastic handle on both sides, and then we'll see how we can bolt it together. And now I have this bolted in. I'm going to cut this plastic off right here, right there. I'm going to cut the plastic, so then we'll have a good idea exactly how that's going to fit in and how long of a tube I need to make. I think the tube's going to have to come out to about here, and then I'm going to have to drill a hole where this used to be and put a bolt through. Alright, so I put the camera on a tripod. I'm going to show a little bit more. So this is what makes these projects kind of special for me. They're not big projects, but this was my dad's bandsaw, and in the back you can see the drill press, and over there my dad bought me that table saw. You know, it wasn't a Sears table saw, it was a Kmart table saw, first table saw, but I still have it after all these years. I still use it. So those kinds of things make the projects meaningful because they bring him in. Alright, we're going to start this up and see if we can't make that cut. Alright, so we need to figure out what the size this is. So let's use some calipers. And see what we're reading. That looks like 0.34, 0.415. That's the opening. So let me see what kind of bolt size I need for that. What it's looking like is we're going to use this as a part that's going to go right through here, and then this is going to have a hole through it, so we can put it right in there. So I'm going to have to measure about where I want that hole and drill it, and we'll see how that fits. And I'll probably have to take these wheels off, which are never easy with these end cap things. They don't go on again, so I'll have to see. We're going to drill smaller than a 3/8 hole to get So we have a hole through there, and this is going to be our pivot point. Here's what we have. We have the bolt going through, so we got pretty good range. This will go down a little bit farther once we get stuff out of the way. Yeah, and then we just gotta find a spot to cut this off, and then we're going to smooth the edges and bolt it together. Okay, here's the piece. We have filed the edges, so there shouldn't be any sharp ones. We've countersunk the holes, and now we're gonna put it together and see what we look like. Okay, we got those washers, lock washers, nuts tightened down, and now we're going to install it in here. Now, I need a couple of big washers. Hang on. Alright, let's see how she goes. Gonna be a tight fit. I think we're gonna get a socket to drive that in. She seems like she's swinging pretty good. I suppose with enough pressure by the right kid, that will break. Something will break. I'm not sure what will break, but And we're going to put a self-locking nut on that side so that it won't undo. And let me well, probably at least as good as it was when it was new. Anything else we need to consider? I suppose. Alright, we gotta put the wheels back on. And the most troubling part to remain is this very tiny little piece here. Let's see which focuses. This was the hat that came off that we bent the hell out of, and now we gotta like straighten it and see if it'll go back on. Well, we got it kind of flattened out, but we took a big chunk of metal out of it. Yeah, that's like probably not good for kids, so we're gonna have to buy a new one of these over to Hector's tomorrow and to finish this project up. But so far, I think we're, well, at least it'll be useful for a little bit longer. Here we go. At Hector's I did find that, which is called a hubcap, go figure. And I was able to put it back on there, and now I think so it moves back and forth. The handle doesn't stay up, but it looks like it's pretty structurally stable. Alright, let's see how the kids do with it, and well, if it works, good. If not, then we'll come up with you know, version D, plan D for fixing that.